Welcome back to Relatable Reactions, and today you've joined me for the start of a new show, or should I say anime, in Frieren Beyond Journey's End. A little bit of backstory about my anime experience. I think as any kid growing up in the 90s, you probably saw quite a lot of Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblades, etc, etc. So obviously that's where a lot of my experience started, and then I got into a few niche, I say niche genres because at the time they were a lot harder to find. You wouldn't just find them very rarely. You would find shows like Trigun or Cowboy Bebop, the original Full Metal Alchemist, Death Note, shows like that. So I watched a lot of that sort of time of anime. I'm not sure what that is, early 2000s maybe. So when I was a teenager is where the majority of my anime experience comes from. I've not watched many modern animes for probably 15 years. I think the only one is Jujutsu Kaisen, which I really enjoy, but obviously I haven't reacted to that. But that's what got me back into anime recently. This show I don't really know anything about, other than there's a new series coming out, which is kind of why I want to cover it now. But I also know it's quite popular. I know it's fantasy, but that is about it. Love fantasy. It's one of my top genres. I do like sci-fi as well. But yeah, it looks like a show that I will enjoy. Without further ado, Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Let's go. I like it. Is this Frieren? Probably, judging by that. The northernmost continent. Ariole, the land where souls rest, many souls gather there. I'll probably have to go back and look at that map.
私たち勇者一行の凱旋です。魔王を倒したからといって終わりじゃない。この先の人生の方が長いんだ。仕事か。酒が飲める仕事がいいですね。お前ソウルだろ。
Very priestly.
フリーレン。
Poignant start.
君のこの先の人生は僕たちには想像もできないほど長いものになるんだろうね。そうかもね。
I take it she lives longer, does she? I know a lot of fantasy elves live for a long time. Quite the gathering. Okay, so she's a mage. Pretty. So this is obviously where it's based then, like from the title, Beyond. So after they've saved the world.
王様が広場に僕たちの彫像を作ってくれるそうだ。まあイケメンであるこの僕を忠実に再現できるかどうかは
現金なもんだ。旅立ちの時はどうか10枚しかくれなかったくせに。
こうしてただ酒も飲めるわけですし、それでいいじゃないですか。
生臭坊主。
Definitely likes a drink, although I don't blame him.
終わってしまったな。そうだね。僕たちの冒険はこれで終わりだ。10年ですか。
10 years.
旅立ちの日にヒンメルとアイゼンが王様にタメ口聞いて処刑されかけたり、ハイターが二日酔いで役に立たなかったこともあったな。
大丈夫？
ダメか。週に一度はそうだ
The
った。
curse of alcohol.
その罠だって言ったのにマジかよ。このエルフ置いてかない。まったくクソみたいな思い出しかないな。でも楽しかったよ。僕は君たちと冒険ができてよかった。そうですね。
短い間だったけどね。
短い？
A mere 10 years.
ってしまったぞ。失礼ですよ。
元からでしょ。
失礼ですよ。エーラ流星でしたっけ。50年に一度の流星群。平和な時代の幕開けにはちょうどいいな。
Very true. Very pretty.
街中だと見えにくいね。じゃあ次。50年後。もっと綺麗に見える場所知ってるから案内するよ。何？
いや、そうだな。みんなで見よう。
It'd be quite a lot older in 50 years.
じゃあ私はここで魔法の収集を続けるよ。100年くらいは中央諸国を巡る予定だから。
Collecting spells. She definitely lives for a long time then.
僕はわかりませんね。まったく。いつから生きているのやら。50年も100年も彼女にとっては些細なものなのかもしれませんね。
Very true, though, isn't it? It's a poignant kind of observation, living a life 10, 20 times longer than a human, maybe even more, to be fair. I don't really know how long or how old she even is now.
暗黒竜の角、うちでは取り扱ってないよ。
Okay, so there's definitely dragons in this show.
そういえば魔王城で拾ったやつヒンメルに預けたままだっけ。
なんか邪悪なオーラみたいなの出てるけど、人体2回はないよね。
わかんない。
わかんないか。
So reassuring.
すぐエーラ流星の時期だし、ついでに取りに行くか。
Oh shit, so it's been what, nearly 50 years?
確かここらへん。ヒンメル。
Okay, time has not been fair on
老
him.
いぼれてる。
言い方ひどくない？年を取った僕もなかなかイケメンだろ。
So handsome.
もう一生会えないのかと思っていたよ。
God, she did leave it the whole 50 years then.
あと魔王城で拾ったやつなんだけど。
片時も忘れたことはないよ。ずっとタンスから邪悪なオーラが出ていたからね。
Yeah, that doesn't seem safe.
適当に納屋にでも放り込んでおいてくれてよかったのに。
そうはいかないよ。君にとっては軽い気持ちで預けたものかもしれないけど、僕にとっては大切な仲間から預かった大事なものなんだ。
Very kind of him.
そんな大層なものじゃないんだけどな。
Is that like a spell, that bird? What's that about? Must be.
ヒンメルまだハゲなんだからこだわったって意味ないよ。
ハゲなりのこだわりがあるの。
It's very true.
では、エーラ流星を見に行こうか。
Oh, see the rest of him. He doesn't look like he's aged too badly.
ずいぶん貫禄が出たね、ハイター。
Heiter, that's it.
生徒の司教ですから、あなたは全然変わりませんね。
頭なでんな。
And that's true. She hasn't changed at all.
だからここから1週間くらい歩いて。
そんなに遠いのか。
まったく、老人を酷使しよって。
That is a long walk for someone who must be, what, 70, 80? That's a big dog. Well, he's still definitely got it.
僕はね、全員が揃うこの日を待ち望んでいたんだ。ありがとう、フリーレン。君のおかげで最後にとても楽しい冒険ができた。
That's sweet. That is a beautiful spot. I hope it was worth the 2 weeks. Got a feeling something bad's happening.
綺麗だ。
Oh, shit. I feel like he lived a good life, though, that he enjoyed at
ヒン
least.
メルは幸せだったと思いますよ。
There we go.
あの子ヒンメル様の仲間なんだって。悲しい顔一つしないなんて白状だね。
おやおや、私たちもしていませんよ。司教は真面目にやれ、この白状者。
I mean, you're supposed to be celebrating their life anyway. I don't think Himmel would want them to be sad.
だって私この人のこと何も知らないし。
Definitely look like they got up to some
一緒に
adventures.
旅しただけだし、人間の寿命は短いって分かっていたのに、なんでもっと知ろうと思わなかったんだろう。頭なでんなよ。
God, it's emotional, especially for a first episode.
二人とも顔をよく見せて、これで最後になるでしょうからね。
どこか悪いの？
長年の酒がたたりましてね。天罰だな。
I mean, he must be getting on as well now.
があったら私の墓に酒でも備えてください。
ハイターは死ぬのが怖くないの？
私たちは世界を救った勇者パーティーですよ。死後は天国で贅沢三昧に決まっています。そのために私はあなた方と共に戦ったのです。
生臭坊主。
He probably couldn't do much more to get into heaven than saving the world.
私もそろそろ行くよ。
魔法収集の旅か。
それもあるけど、私はもっと人間を知ろうと思う。それで一つ相談なんだけど、私魔法職だからさ、強力な前衛がいると助かるんだよね。
勘弁してくれ。もう斧を触れるような年じゃないんだ。
He seemed okay with that stick.
そんな顔するな、フリーレン。人生ってのは衰えてからの方
That is true.
じゃあまたね、アイゼン。
が。あ、また。
Wonder how long he lives for, comparatively to her anyway. This music's beautiful. 20 years after the death.
何かお探しでしょうか？
She was the girl in the intro, I think, wasn't she?
いや、ハイターって人の家を探しているんだけど。
Is he still alive?
まだ生きてたんだ、生臭坊主。
かっこよく死ぬのも難しいものですな。
一杯やる？
酒はもうやめたんです。
そう。
Oh, he's a changed man.
ありがとうございます。
あの子は
フェルンと言います。南側諸国の繊細孤児でした。
進んで人助けするようなたちじゃないでしょ。ヒンメルじゃあるまいし。
フリーレン、なぜ私のところへ？
生徒への買い出しのついでだよ。旅先で会う人とはなるべく関わるようにしているからね。それにハイターにはたくさん借りがあるから死なれる前に返しに来た。
That's nice. That's nice of her.
弟子を取りませんか？フェルンには魔法使いとしての素質があります。あなたの旅に連れて行ってくれませんか？
ごめんハイター。それだけはできない。足手まといになるから。
Oof. Ouch.
点での見習い魔法使いの死亡率は知ってるでしょ。友人から預かった子を死に送るつもりはないよ。
Okay, I mean, that's a fair answer, though.
では別の頼みを。賢者エービヒの墓所から出土したものです。この魔導書には今は失われた死者の蘇生や不死の魔法が記されているとされています。
そんな魔法が実在するとは思えないけど。
それも含めて解読をお願いしたいのです。できますか？
まあ5、6年もあれば。でもこんなの解読してどうすんのさ。死ぬのは怖くないんじゃなかったの？
理由は2つあります。1つはあなたたちの手前格好をつけていたから。もう1つは前より死ぬのが怖くなったから。不死とは言わず、ほんの少しでいいから。
Is that because of
時
that
間が
girl
欲しくなったのです。
that changed his perspective of things?
それに晴天には健やかに生きよとあります。長寿はその最たるものですよ、フリーレン。
生臭坊主。
解読の片手まで構わないので、フェルンに魔法を教えてあげてはくれませんか？
まあそのくらいなら。
Cheeky. Staff is so big.
探すのが大変だったよ。いつも森で修行しているの？
フリーレン様でも私を見つけるのが大変でございましたか？存在感が薄いとハイター様からもよく言われます。とても良いことでございますね。
そうだね。
Yeah, I like the sound of being invisible sometimes.
魔力探知にほとんど引っかからない。卓越した魔力の操作技術だ。この年で一体どれだけの研鑽を積んだんだ。
ハイター様に
That means she's
あ
quite
の一番
powerful.
岩を打ち抜けば一人前になれると言われました。
へえ、ハイターも分かってんじゃん。あれはね。
このように魔力が離散してしまい届かないのです。
Can't she just step forward a little bit?
修行をすれば良いのでしょうか？
ねえ、先に一つ聞いていい？魔法は好き？
ほどほどでございます。
私と同じだ。
Well, that was a very abrupt finish, but I really enjoyed that. Oh, okay. Let's not do that. Stupid Netflix skipping it. I can't stop it. Where's my mouse gone? There we go. There we go. Well, there we have it. The end of the first episode of Frieren. And that was unusual, I would say. It's such a different take on the genre. And I don't really have any expectations of where it's going to go. I'm not going to say it's like slice of life anime, but it has more of that kind of feeling where it's quite laid back, chilled, relaxed, which I actually really enjoy and find it such an interesting concept, the idea of the journey after the world-saving event, as it were, and where they're going to take it, what the future holds for Frieren. This girl obviously becomes some sort of it because she was in the intro, so I presume she's going to take care of her. But what's the plan? What's the journey for them? Is it just her training? Is there more to it? So I'm really fascinated in that side of it, and just the whole concept of Frieren and the idea of living for however long she lives for. I suppose I don't actually know, but obviously in fantasy, elves often live hundreds, thousands of years, and it's such a different concept of time, as I suppose they alluded to, 10 years, or as she said, even like a mere 10 years, which to us a decade is such a long time. So much happens in 10 years for us, but I suppose for her it really is nothing. Even deciphering that book is what she said it was like 6 years or something to decipher it, but she didn't even seem phased by that. Like 6 years is a snap of her fingers. She can do that without a second thought, where as a human, taking 6 years of your life is like dedicating your life to something. It's a big chunk. So I suppose this is her learning that side of it. She obviously feels remorse. Is remorse the right word? She obviously wished she got to know Himmel a little bit better, but I wonder why it was Himmel that was the trigger for this. Would it have been any of them? If I'm trying to think of their names, was it Heiter? If he had passed away first, would she have had the same feelings? I don't know, but yeah, super fascinating, and just she seems quite awkward in a lot of ways, which I kind of understand. Like being autistic, I often have like thoughts and ideas of like, what's it like to think like I don't want to say like a normal person, but my brain works so differently to a lot of people I know, and just people in general, that sometimes I find it quite hard to understand people. So I wonder if that's kind of how she feels, like she doesn't understand her emotions very well, which is something that I kind of relate to, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. No, really enjoyed it. So I hope to catch you next time when we continue with Frieren. So until then, I will catch you later.